What if you were given the power to stop a moving train, leap great distances, and stick to walls? How do you use that power, and how would that power change you? Now, we have seen a bit of vengeance in the eyes of each live-action Spider-Man so far, but they ultimately decide that taking revenge won't ease their pain or bring back the ones they lost. But in our world, I feel as if the majority of people would continue to take a more vengeful route and not be conflicted by just straight up killing villains like Green Goblin and Scorpion, or any other whack jobs with a knack for killing. Because the way I see it is that even if getting revenge doesn't ease your pain, it could for others. For example, say that in the end of Spider-Man 1, Green Goblin didn't die and Peter is just able to stop him and send him to jail. Well, knowing Green Goblin, he would find a way to escape and either take another shot at Spider-Man or cause a bunch of havoc, killing multiple people in the process. You see what I'm getting at? He dies here, so no more people die at the hand of the Green Goblin. But if he lived, he would have kept the killing going. And also, the two main problems with the more vengeful route is that the idea that when you cut off one head, two more grow back to take its place. And that not every villain just deserves to be killed. Take Sandman for instance. Yes, he did a bad thing, but for a good reason. And that's why in the movie they make you feel sympathy for him and his relatability for wanting to help the ones he loves, and not letting anyone get in his way in the process. And in the end, he does redeem himself by showing that he feels remorse for the ones that he has hurt and understands that he can't go back to fix it. So I guess the bigger question would be, where do you draw the line when deciding that a villain deserves to live or die, and how long before that line becomes very, very thin? We have seen a small glimpse as to what it would look like for Spider-Man to use his name and abilities to make money into the Spider-Verse, but in a real-world setting, I think the way some people would use their abilities would be even more selfish than that, going as far as robbing big banks and random civilians. Some people may go as far as selling their services of being a hitman for hire, or even simpler, just selling their blood to random government agencies and allowing scientists to test on them. Now, some examples of someone still being a hero but at the same time being selfish would be, say after stopping a bank heist, they take a bit of the money for themselves, or someone who only saves people if it will help bring up their social status. Now, I don't think that everyone would be like this, but even in most of the movies, we see Peter Parker's Spider-Man do some things for their own selfish reasons. To say that you at least wouldn't dabble in trying to make your life situation a bit better with your gifts is a blatant lie. Now, these are the 1%ers, the people who, when given these gifts, would only use them to prey on the people beneath them. And I'm not just talking about stealing from them, I'm talking about a truly evil, psychotic murderer Spider-Man, who at that point probably wouldn't even be called Spider-Man anymore. And some of the best reference material would have to be The Boys and Spider's Shadow. In The Boys, each quote-unquote superhero is really just a supervillain, doing exactly as I just explained earlier, preying on the people beneath them by robbing and just straight up killing them. Now imagine throwing Spider-Man into the superhero team, the Seven, giving him a huge ego and acting untouchable, where the only thing that really matters is the public's opinion of him. And also what I mentioned earlier was Spider's Shadow, a comic where Peter Parker has lost pretty much everyone he loves in his life and also kept the symbiote Venom, leading him down a dark path, hunting down and killing most of his villains. Now, this evil path, like I said earlier, would not be the majority of people and really would just be whack jobs and purely sinister people. But with that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel.